Could a team up with China's Alibaba and U.S. social messaging app Snapchat be in the works? The two companies are in talks, and Snapchat could be valued at $10 billion. I'm Raimi Inocencio for Asia Today. Tony Chu is with RS Investments here in Hong Kong and joins me right here in the Hong Kong studio. So Tony, first off, thanks for coming in. Second, how significant are these talks and the valuation of $10 billion for Snapchat, which right now doesn't even make any money?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're getting to see that a lot of the internet global giants are really very aggressive in getting their hands on social media sort of messengers. And I believe that there's not really a lot of, there's huge scarcity sort of value on these sort of instant messengers. And I think Alibaba is definitely paying up. Compare, if you look at, in the past, sort of where valuations of Facebook is trying to buy the Snapchat, it's really, really high right now. But I think there's a very good intention for the Alibabas to grab their share in the social media space.
Right, and Alibaba doesn't really have a great presence in the social media space just yet, but they're trying to potentially compete with WeChat, with Tencent's WeChat. How possible is it for them to do that? Because Tencent and WeChat, they have been going on for quite a while already. They have about, 400 million active users, and Alibaba right now pretty much has zero.
Yeah, the biggest doubtful thing that I see with this sort of potential deal is that if you look at Snapchat, a lot of their user base is really based in the US. And if you look at where WeChat stands, they're very dominant in the China marketplace. So if you sort of look at the potential competition between sort of Tencent and Alibaba, I don't see a lot of synergies of these sort of investments. Particularly, a bulk of the revenue of Alibaba is still in China. So there's still a lot of work to do in order to compete with Tencent.
All right. Now, if you had to say that Tencent is winning by some factor, what would that factor be?
At the moment, it's still by a mile. If you look at the way Tencent is sort of setting up their sort of chess game across, compared with Ali, they have made a very strategic investment in JD.com earlier, and I think that's a very key towards now where the direct sort of models in the e-commerce space against the market space channel, which clearly I think the direct model is clearly getting the upper hand right now. So Alibaba is now spending a lot of time to ramp up that direct channel, but when we look at the next steps, when these giants move into the mobile space, the key is really control that social traffics.
Right.
And you look at Tencent, it's clearly doing that job right now.
Right. Mobile, of course, is where the money is at, and where it's even more so going to be looking to the future. But we're talking about a Chinese company looking potentially right now, as they're just talking about maybe acquiring a stake or all of a U.S.-based company. Are there any regulatory hurdles that definitely need to be looked at?
Oh, definitely. If you look at, earlier Facebook needs to go through the sort of U.S. regulatory regimes to get their approval on buying of WhatsApp, for example. I think that it's likewise, Alibaba needs to go through that sort of process. And also, plus, if I look at sort of more recent sort of Alibaba sort of investment and acquisition, a lot of the investors are now raising questions to see how viable a lot of this acquisition really is. And likewise, with this sort of potential acquisitions, I think when investors going through their IPO process, they really need to look at do their homework very deeply. Right.
It's a fun app, to be sure, Snapchat. But when it disappears, you also have to wonder if the money is ever going to appear. All right, Tony Chu, RS Investments, we'll leave it at there. Thanks so much for coming in. For more on this, head to thewallstreetjournal.com and check out the article now online talking about talks between China's Alibaba and US-based Snapchat. I'm Raimi Inocencio in Hong Kong. Thanks for watching.